Hello and welcome to the demo of Modulus. This is a new factory building game that's coming out. I love the art style and it looks great. We have 3 little islands here, this big one here, and then 2 smaller islands over here, attached by little bridges. So the material on the map here is this polyrock fragment. The first thing we have to do is extract it. So we're going to put down 4 extractors on these things here, rotate them. Then we'll grab some conveyor belts and put these down. And these need placed into a furnace that will turn them into cubes. So we will put down a furnace here. You can hover over here. It says 30 operations per minute. So if we click on the furnace, it requires 8 polyrock fragments to make 1 cube. You can see the cubes if we stretch them out here. So we need 8 polyrock fragments to make a cube. So we're going to extract 4 more. So here, that is a 100% efficient furnace now. Now we'll basically go around the map. There's these little fragments all over the place. There's some down here, some over here. There's some blue pigment here that we'll use later. So I'm going to go through and put some harvesters down and get these cubes all lined up so that we can start our factory. So there's 6 full lines of cubes coming in. The first thing we want to work towards is we click on the bottom of this buildings tab down here. We want the gray core facility. Just put one up here to see what's involved in it. We can click on it. In order to build it, we need these modules. We're going to pin these modules here and click on this one and pin this one. So this one we need to turn these cubes down here into this shape. So this is 2 wide by 4 high by 8 long, and these cubes are 4 by 4 by 4, which is 64 square cubes. So we're going to work on this shape first. I guess we have some tools back here. We can go down to this one, and we have a cutter. We can just put a cutter down here to take a look at it. This basically, we need to bring a shape into this. So we will bring the cube into here. And this slices up the cube. We can slice it up 1 time, 2 times, 3s, or even 4. So this kind of spaces out how narrow the cut is. Right now we're going to want to go with 2. That'll just cut this piece. Close this here. I'll just cut this piece in half basically, so we'll have 2 halves. So let's confirm that. So now this is operating at 30 per minute, so it's bringing in 30 cubes per minute, which is what these furnaces output here. 30 per minute. You can tell by hovering over here. This is maximum 30 per minute. But this is actually outputting 60 per minute because it is cutting the cube in half. So it is taking in 30 and outputting 60 per minute. So these are outputting at 60 per minute. We're actually going to convert 3 belts into it. Grab this one, and then we'll grab one from over here. And you can copy these buildings that copies the recipe over. So we're now outputting 180 per minute, 60 on each line. And you can kind of zoom in and see the pieces that are on the map, on the belts there. So it is this piece sliced in half. Next piece we need is this piece here, this 4 by 4 by 8 column. So we'll do something probably similar. Let's cut this piece up. You can left click on it and configure it. And let's see, we want probably something like this. And then we can put it into an assembler. Now, assembler requires 2 pieces, and remember this is coming out at 60 per minute. So we could put a splitter in here. You can mirror the splitter by hitting T. It changes where the outputs are. It's very nice. And we can confirm this, and we could probably move this together like this. You just drag these 2 pieces over here and configure them how you want them. So that'll make us that piece, and we'll have to put down another cutter. Missed the output on that one, that's why it's not working. So then we can take this cutter here and we can rotate this piece. Let's cut it in twos, and there we go. That's the piece we want right here. Confirm that. And so we can see, like, this is outputting at 60 per minute, which is being divided by 2, so it's coming into 30 and 30, which is what we need. It's being glued together. So these are coming out at 30 per minute. These are getting cut in half, so it's coming out at 60 per minute. Let's copy this over 3 times. Grab this one, put it in here, and grab this one and put it in here. Then we can copy this. We can actually just drag and drop copy, I think. We hit C to copy. And you can actually line these buildings up. Like, you could put the splitter right at the end here, but I like to see what's going on. You can copy this. We're actually going to move this over to this direction because we have these 3 lines coming here. There's no sense bringing them down and coming all the way back and around. Let's just use these 3 lines right here. So let's delete this stuff here. Delete that. We will delete this. Something like that. Let's see if we can move all this. So super nice that we can do that. Right, so we got 3 belts of each shape coming in. These are at 60 per minute. So the full belt can hold 120. But since we have 3 belts, we might as well do 3 of these buildings. It's not quite clear how fast this operates. There's no time on it. And if we go to this building here, it doesn't tell you how fast it operates. So we're just going to go with 3 of them and see how it goes. Copy this. And we'll just bring these over to the building. Now the way you put these into the building here, you have to put a crane on it. So you click on the building, click on add crane, and we're just going to add 4 of them. You could add 2, you could add 1. I like to do 4. Let's drag these out first. And then we need to distribute these, so we can just grab these. We do have tunnels unlocked right away. So I think tunnels are auto placement. Yes, they are. And this one needs to come over to here. So I spaced those out a little bit nicer, but we are actually bringing in the wrong piece here. If you click on this, we need this piece here, and we are bringing in a smaller version of it. So we're going to have to do a quick modification to that, which shouldn't be too hard. We can just bring this back to here. Let's copy this. Rotate that around, stick it down here. Let's delete all this stuff. And what we need to do is just bring this down here. And actually what you can tell is if you click on this building, you can see it requires 24 of these and 48 of these. So we can deliver these at half the speed as these, and they'll still be 100% efficient. So let's grab this, let's grab a splitter. And we got to grab another assembler. And then we can grab this, and we just need to put these 2 pieces together. Confirm that, and send them on their way. Now we got wrong pieces on the conveyor belt, so they have a nice tool for that. You can hit Z, or it's this button on the toolbar right over here on the bottom left. But you can hit Z, and it basically clears the buildings from the pieces from the conveyor belt. Super nice. and that should bring the right piece in. The cranes are now taking it, so we're good to go. So let's kind of build that piece, and you can actually see it's actually bringing the pieces into the building here, slowly dropping them into place. Alright, so that is the gray core facility. It makes 2 gray cores, and what you can actually do is upgrade these. It requires pieces to upgrade it, so we can click upgrade on this one. It requires 24 modules and 48 modules to upgrade it. So it stops producing gray cores while you do this, but it does upgrade it, and it produces more parts out of the same amount of input. So we'll leave this one at base level. We'll upgrade this one to the second level so we can compare the differences. But while we're waiting for that to get built, the next thing we're going to work on is a gray bot assembly. Stick that over here for now. This requires different modules to be built, so let's click on that and pin these modules. This requires a black piece, which isn't something new. But let's get some more pieces harvested and get some lines set up for these. So we'll work on this one first. So there's 3 lines of cubes coming out. We're going to work on this shape first. This is going to go into a cutter. We're going to leave them. We could combine them because these are only 30 per minute per belt, and the belts can hold 120. But I'll show you the reason we're not going to do that is because we're going to put a cutter in here. Drag the pieces into here. Click on this, and we're actually going to cut it 4 ways. So we are going to leave it just how it's set up, and it's going to output. So it's bringing in 30 per minute, but it's going to output 120 per minute because it's going to cut 1 piece into 4. So we're going to confirm that. And this belt has 120 pieces per minute on it, the maximum we are allowed. And we're going to split it again. So now this has 30 per minute on each belt coming out of the end here. And then on that we need to put an assembler down. Set that up. We're going to drag this piece over to here. Drag this piece over to here. Confirm that. And this is one of the shapes we're looking for. So we're going to do is copy this down. Alright, let's copy this down. We're going to need 3 of these. Annoying that tree is in the way, but we will work around it. And this one can just come down and in. Alright, so that is 30 per minute on each of these belts. So we can basically take, this piece right here is the piece we need. It's this piece right here. So we can just go ahead and take that piece down. And that is the white piece that we need. Let's move this around a little bit. Put it there for now. Let's see how that works out. So this is the white piece coming down here. Now we need this piece here, the black piece. This needs supplied in even quantities, 48 and 48. The next piece we need is this black piece here. It's just a little square column. Let's zoom in here. Let's put down a cutter. And we can basically lay this on its side. And then we can tell it to cut 2. So that gives us half and half. And all we have to do is reassemble those back together. Actually, we come out 60 per minute because it's taking 1 piece at 30 per minute and splitting it into 2, so that's 60 per minute. Split between 2 belts is 30 per minute each. Then we can throw that into an assembler. This assembler will just make the piece we're looking for. Stack them together like that. And then we have the new tool, the monotoner. This basically switches it from black to white. So that is the piece we're looking for at 30 per minute. So we just got to copy this down 3 times. That is 90 per minute. We just need to drag this over to here and into here. Just put some cranes on here. I think we're actually going to go for 2 of these. That's going to be a little troublesome though. Let's see if we can move this up a little bit. We move that up to there. You can copy this. Bring it down to here. I don't know that we can support 2 of these, but we're going to try. And as you can see, you can reach out 3 or 4 or 5 lanes even, so it stretches out pretty far if you want to line them up next to each other. But I figured this works best for me. Now these buildings are done being upgraded, so we can see this is 1 level, this is 2 levels, this is 3 levels, so it gets taller as you upgrade them. This one makes 4 cores, and it only needs 4 of these and 8 of these. If you look at this is the same recipe, 4 and 8, 4 and 8, but this makes 2 gray cores, this makes 3 gray cores, this makes 4 gray cores, so there's no reason not to upgrade them all the way to the max. I don't like this layout, so we're actually going to delete this. Just this portion of it. And over like this. Now these buildings produce gray cores, and these buildings up here need gray cores. They need 8 gray cores to make a gray bot. So the way we get that is there is a harvester top pad here. You can grab the harvester pad, stick it down here, and this works on drones. So you can have up to 4 drones per thing. You just click on this yellow button here, assign a drone to a building right here, and we'll just drag one over so you can see what it looks like. So it goes, gets the parts, and travels. Now you can assign multiple drones to this tower. So we can select here, select this tower. We can grab this tower. So we can harvest all 3 buildings into this one tower and then bring them over to here. What I don't like is how long the drones take to fly, you know, because that way it's not quite even. It's pulling from this one a lot faster because it's a shorter time to travel. So I'm going to add 3 harvester pads just to keep it consistent. Assign a drone to each building here. That'll take them from there. This will take them from here. And this will take them from here. So I'll bring the gray cores into this belt here. And what we'll do is grab a tunnel here. Grab a belt. And then we can grab a crane from each of these buildings. And we'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if we can keep up with this, but we will find out. So this building's a little bugged out right now. It says it needs 48 pieces, which is not correct. It actually is this piece right here, which only needs 8. The last thing I need to do is grab another harvester tower. I think we'll grab one over here, just so it's equal distance from each building. Rotate this around. We will grab a drone from here to here, and we will grab a drone from here to here. Grab a belt over to here, and the next thing we can put down is the depot. The depot just basically collects gray bots right now. It's the only thing it does in this demo, but we can ship all our gray bots into the building here, and it tells you how many you've delivered. So this did correct itself. That's nice. So it doesn't really say how fast this building produces. All you can do is kind of watch it and make sure it looks like as soon as it has 8 pieces in inventory, it produces the bots. Okay, I experimented with putting 8 cranes on this building to pick up these spots because they need 8 per production, and it appears to be using them faster than this line is over here. But if you watch the drones back here, they are traveling at exactly the same speed, so it doesn't appear to be making it faster, even though it appears to be using the parts faster. So it might just be a visual glitch that we're seeing, but these are definitely delivering them at the same speed. So that's going to do it for this episode. Next episode we'll take a look at part B, which is basically using the blue dye to make blue pieces. So we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.